Welcome, everyone. Hope everybody's doing okay. I got Panda here hanging out with me today. She's one of the ones you hear barking. I don't think there'll be any barking today, though. It's really good to see everybody. Got Cherry K in the house, of course. Thank you. A Gramsy Life. Thank you for your kind words that you've been sharing lately. Faith, Sonia B, Amy Jade, Louisiana Girl, Marianne V, Sweet Home Alamanda, Bobby Pin, Shelly, Amethyst, Sammy Smith, Mrs. R&B, Haley Douglas, welcome. Always, I love my limeys. I'm telling you, I love my limeys. Most of them anyway, except for the one with the T. Anyway, I got change. Welcome, Crystal Miller, Mama Jane Starr. All right, and on and on. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're here. So we're gonna go over yesterday. Chris McDonough from the interview room. He conducted a very, very thorough interview. We know that he, prior to this, conducted an interview with Hunter, who is the 15-year-old that went swimming with Summer and her mom and grandma the day that Summer disappeared. I know I haven't been talking too much about this because all we're getting is a lot of gossip right now regarding the family. I'm going to play a little something though. Now this explains one particular detail that's taken place, which there's no reason to believe just yet that it has anything to do or if it's even relevant to Summer's disappearance. But it has been confirmed that the three boys have been removed by CPS from Don and Candus's home. And yeah, I'm not finding Hunter to be too credible either. And we'll talk about that, Kaylee P. What's up, DCP Tom? DCP Red, hello. Jen Perry. Yeah, I'm not seeing any reason to I'll get into that, but real quick, let me play something. And if you see me laughing, it's not, I'm going to be honest with you. If you see me laughing, it's not due to the fact that the kids have been removed. Obviously, that's not okay. That's not, I mean, there's a number of reasons why that could have happened. And I mean, just the possibility of it having to do with Summer is a drop in a sea of possibilities. So, and interesting enough, though, yeah, Marianne V, yeah, and off the subject real quick. I got to tell you guys real quick before we get into the crime stuff. Let me address a couple of things real quick. There's as you guys know, I'm very community oriented. And there's one creator here who I respect quite a bit as a creator. We've had some personal conversations, him and I. At one point, you could even say that we were kind of friends. But this is something that I feel I have to address because, like I said, I take pride in being very community oriented and being a part of this community. And there's these two, and I use the term creator very, very loosely when talking about these people. Um, and they've made some really racist comments. Uh, and and instead of just simply apologizing, instead of just simply saying, you know, hey, it I didn't mean for it to come out that way, or I was just kidding, or anything. Instead, they just they continue to make excuses and somehow justify saying these awful, horrible things, very ignorant things, without even taking any consideration as to how it would make someone feel. Now, I'm big on freedom of speech, man. I really am. I'm real big on that. You could say whatever you want, as far as I'm concerned, but it doesn't change the fact that if you say things like this, well, it shows what kind of person you really are. And so just own it, man. Just own it. Instead of making it worse by making horrible jokes, and you're not realizing how it's making someone feel. Because I don't find John Crimes / John Hinged to be a sensitive person necessarily. Somebody who can't handle certain things. The kind of guy that, things, whatever it needs to be, can roll right off of his back. But I don't think it's so much that he's, being, I think it bothers me that he's being painted out to be by these people to be somehow overly sensitive about something. It's not the case. It's the issue that he's sensitive about, and it's something that he feels the need to speak up on. And I was listening to him live yesterday, and he had two very intelligent, very educated people discussing the issue, and they made excellent points. So I highly recommend going back and listening to John Hinged live yesterday, because he took the opportunity to educate those who don't really understand the seriousness of how racism can impact a community. And he did a really great job. He did it really, really, he did it really tactfully. And he executed his point and his purpose for doing so very, very eloquently. And I thought that was great, because I took something out of it and I learned certain things. So I highly recommend everybody listen to what John Hinge shared yesterday. I mean, you got to take into consideration how your words might affect someone who's had to deal with a serious issue like racism probably their entire lives. If you've never been a person of color, if you're not a person of color, if you're not a person of color, then the best thing that you can do, the right thing for you to do, in my personal opinion, is to at least try to empathize with what they have dealt with and had to go through their entire lives. So, educate yourself. Take some time and educate yourself. That's the least you can do. That's personally my opinion. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. And off that subject, man, I watched this movie. Sometimes I recommend movies. I watched this movie on Prime yesterday. It's completely off the subject. But it was the saddest movie I have ever seen in my life. It was called Our Friend. But I recommend the movie because it's really, really good. It's basically about it's got Casey Affleck, Jason Segel, and I can't remember the actress's name. I've seen her in a couple of things, but I can't remember her name. But it was easily the saddest movie I've ever seen. The movie is about this friend of a married couple who has two kids, two daughters, and the wife becomes terminally ill with cancer. It's incurable, or it's inoperable. There's nothing that they can do. She is terminal. She is going to die. And the whole movie is like this journey to dealing with her dying, and this friend who moves in with them and helps the husband take care of her and helps take care of the two daughters just because he's a good friend. And it was Jesus Christ, why does this person keep showing up here? Okay, yeah, get out of here. I'm tired of you. And I was just like, wow, blown away. I mean, dude, I cried, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, for the last like 45 minutes in this movie, I was bawling like that girl, except with real tears. But I was totally just like, oh, this is, I mean, it takes a lot for a movie to do that to me. I mean, for you ladies out there who like to cry when you watch movies, that's the movie to watch. That is absolutely the movie to watch. So I highly recommend it. Panda, what's up? Are you comfortable, sweetie? Okay. So moving on. I watched yesterday, after all that, I watched Chris's the interview room. I watched his interview with Candus. We're actually going to go over that. We're going to go ahead and stream that and play it, and I'm going to share my thoughts as we do that. So this might be a long one, guys, so get comfortable. Let me get it set up here. Oh, the name of the movie, BTU, is called Our Friend. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm 90% sure that's where I watched it. It was either that or HBO Max, but I'm pretty sure it was Amazon Prime. Oh, so you saw it, Crime Story. Yeah, man. Dude, Casey Affleck's such a good actor. Yeah, I was just, yeah, I was so sad watching that movie. All right.
Some woman made this shirt for me. I'm not sure exactly what her name is.
And tell me the significance of this shirt. Why is it so important?
Because my daughter loved Paw Patrol.
Okay. Yeah, she did Paw Patrol. What else? Princesses.
Ponies, and she loved Frozen. Then she started with these. They're little animals, but I'm not sure what they are.
Hey, Alex Erickson.
Big eyeballs. I can't remember what the name of them are. I got a couple on my window.
Are they like little? They got like the big eyes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they got the big eyes.
Yeah.
She likes bracelets and jewelry, and she's just a round girl.
Yeah. So let's take me back to that day when you all were here swimming. Okay. You okay with that? Okay. So let's walk me down. Is this where you parked?
Yeah, this is where I park. I park here all the time.
All the time. And now, do you come here a lot?
I used to come here a lot. Yeah.
And you bring the kids?
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to play a clip prior to this. Let me do that. Let me do that real quick. We'll come back to this. Okay, guys? And I see there's Sophie questions. I will be discussing that. I do have some information to share as far as that goes. But yeah, I'll do another stream soon regarding the Sophie case. Keep you guys informed, keep you guys up to speed with what I know. Real quick, let me share this. I meant to do this first, so I apologize, guys. Now, you might see me laugh here a little bit, because something happened here, which I found really ironic.
We are nearing 6 weeks since Summer Wells was reported missing from her home in the Beech Creek community of Hawkins County, prompting a statewide Amber Alert and multi-agency search and investigation. That case not only spreading far with agencies from all around this area involved, but also with interest from around the world.
Yeah, Ansley Daniel spoke with the host of the J for Justice podcast, who had Don Wells on the podcast last weekend, where he confirmed how the Department of Children's Services is now involved.
Josh and Sarah, last week we told you the Department of Children's Services was involved in the Summer Wells investigation. Over the weekend, Summer's father, Don, confirmed on the J is for Justice podcast that their other children had been removed from the home.
The rumor is that they were taken out of the home. Were they taken from you guys? Were they? Oh, no. Yesterday?
A couple days ago.
Jennifer Youngblood is the host of crime podcast J is for Justice. She has interviewed Wells before and saw rumors circulating on social media that the older children had been removed from the home.
I could tell when he answered the phone that he sounded broken to me. He did not sound like the same Don Wells that I spoke to.
She looks good.
You know, the week previous. He didn't sound hopeful. He sounded very depressed.
What's up, Just Larry?
He confirmed that the boys
Executive session
taken a couple days prior.
Guys,
in the
subscribe
almost
to Just
10-minute
Larry.
phone interview, Wells explained how the theories and
executive
speculation
session.
about what
Mods, if
happened
you could
to
drop
his daughter
his,
are affecting him.
His link in the chat, I'd appreciate it.
And said I had somebody, either posing or said they had the inside scoop with TBI and that they knew that I sold my daughter for drugs. And I flipped out. I believed that stuff. I believed it. Then I flipped out. I started drinking and everything else. That's why they took our kids.
Her YouTube channel has 46.5 thousand subscribers, and her interview with Don Wells from Saturday has been viewed more than 41,000 times. But Youngblood says she isn't interested in speaking with anyone but Summer's parents right now.
It makes people who might have beef with these people come out of the woodwork. And then it muddies the waters. It muddies the waters not only for the general public, but for law enforcement.
Youngblood says she will keep discussing the case on her show, but wants to be clear that finding Summer and the facts around what happened remain her focus.
Not facts surrounding, any gossip or drama that people have with Candus or with Don at this point. I think that's totally counterproductive. And I think that we need to keep the focus on that there's a 5-year-old little girl that is missing. And also there's 3 boys that are missing their sister.
News Channel 11 has reached out to both Don Wells and Candace Bly for confirmation and an interview regarding this. We have not yet received a response.
That was Ansley Daniel reporting. As always, if you have any information that could help locate Summer Wells, call TBI. The contact information is on your screen. You can email them as well. TBI asks you only submit credible tips.
All right. So now I want to be clear why I'm laughing. All right. I'm laughing because, for those of you guys who know what goes on in the community, I just pictured Critical K seeing that footage and it just made me laugh. But good on J is for Justice. I'm not even trying to lie. Like, I've had my issues with J is for Justice in the past, actually for reasons similar to this, but she is like, the way that she's handled the Summer Wells case, man, like she's been a shining example. I honestly believe this. I'm not taking no jabs, man. Like she's using her very large platform very, very responsibly in bringing awareness to the case and helping contain the rumors and speculation and giving giving a fair shake to these parents, man, because exactly what she was saying. This is the same stuff that I've been saying. And there's been a lot of really irresponsible YouTubers out there making it worse and worse, basically going completely against what the TBI and that sheriff's department have been recommending that we do. And And all you have to do, I mean, it's simple. Just don't keep your, hey, Keely Talks, stick to the facts, man. Stick to the stuff that focuses on finding Summer. Okay. Jumping to conclusions and already basically sealing her fate by spreading misinformation or even stuff that's not relevant. You know, I mean, this is a family, and maybe they're not the same type of family as you. Maybe they make mistakes as parents, for sure. I'm not trying to doubt that either. I mean, there's got to be a reason why CPS removed the kids from the home. But that's none of our business. It's really not any of our business. What we should be simply focused on is finding Summer. And I'm going over this because I truly believe that now these people are backed into a corner. You know, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. If Candus doesn't go on camera and discuss anything, then she looks guilty of something. If she does, then her words get twisted around and then she looks guilty of something. And it's just ridiculous. You know, until you have solid evidence to indicate that this person is actually capable of hurting their own child permanently, then, you know, I mean, and disciplining does not count. There are different cultures. People, it's none of your business how people raise their kids. You know, maybe she spanks them, you know, but I know a lot of parents that spank their kids that would never actually do anything hateful to permanently harm them. I mean, and you may not agree with it. Personally, I don't really agree with it. Personally, I don't. But I'm not anyone to tell people how to raise their kids either. So, I mean, that's just me. So can you just imagine being this person, being this couple and having to deal with, on top of their daughter missing and not knowing where she is or what happened to her, having to deal with the fact that they're already questioning themselves whether or not they're adequate parents, and now CPS takes their kids out of the home, the remaining kids, and who is really going to? Oh, Alex, thank you so much. No, thank you for all you do, and make sure to subscribe to Alex Erickson's channel too. She does great work. She's a great channel, and I'm proud to call her a friend. I just, yeah, we don't have enough information to start slinging mud at these people, to judge them on how they're raised. I mean, a lot of parents raise their kids the way that they were raised. Some people live in poverty. Some people make bad decisions, sure, but focusing on these things does not get to answers as to where Summer is. No matter how much you tell yourself it does, it doesn't. It just doesn't. So good on JS for Justice for using your channel in such a mindful and responsible manner. Big shout out to her for that. All right, so we're going to get back to this interview real quick.
Kids here?
I bring the kids here all the time, and they either fish or swim.
Okay.
Whichever.
Right.
It's there's nobody down here hardly.
Right.
So it's away from. I don't like to have the kids around a bunch of other kids because of all the sickness and stuff that's been going around.
Yeah.
Different kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this was more secluded, private kind of thing, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
So she's basically saying here that she's mindful of who she keeps her kids around because I mean, she's scared of COVID, you know. If you've got a home with multiple kids, it's it's just a germ farm. You know what I mean? And so to some degree, she's being mindful, absolutely, of just trying to keep her kids safe. That's an indication to me that she is mindful of trying to keep her kids safe.
More of a quiet kind of person. I don't like to be in a big crowd.
Yeah.
I tend to stick to myself and my family, and that's it.
Yeah. And when you guys got here, who was with you? There's a lot of rumors
my
about.
My mother was with me.
Yep.
And my daughter.
Yep.
Summer, and Hunter was with us.
Okay. Now, tell me about the dynamics of what everybody was doing. Who was doing what when you first got here? What happened?
I got out of the car first, and then I opened the back door because my mom's got a double door on her truck.
Right.
So I opened the back door and I let her and Hunter out.
Okay.
And Summer's first thing is to run to the water, of course.
Right.
I was like, Summer, just wait. Let me get my stuff, and I'll walk over there with you. And she waited for me, and I don't know. Hunter went off into the woods somewhere. I don't know where.
Now, where was Summer sitting?
She was sitting in the middle seat.
Okay.
Hunter was sitting on the end.
Okay.
And my mom said, hold on a minute. So we waited for my mom to get out.
Okay.
And Hunter, he just done disappeared into the woods. I don't know where he went.
Okay. Okay.
And me and my mom.
Now, there's a lot of thought. There's a lot of talk about Hunter disappearing into the woods. She doesn't know where he went, whatever. I mean, he's a 15-year-old kid. He probably had to take a leak, you know, for all we know. Who knows? So I don't think it's responsible to really focus on that too much. I just wanted to put that out there.
When Summer walked over there, and we were just letting Summer play, and then Hunter eventually come back out of the woods wherever he was.
Okay.
And
so let's walk over there. Show me.
All right. So, and I know most of you guys are caught up to this, but for those of you like Lucy Tockley, who's not, so the day that Summer disappeared, they all went to this swimming hole. They went to this swimming area here because Summer really likes to swim and it's really hot. And I think there was talk. I think there was talk about going to a water park, but I don't think. I think because of Grandma's knee, they were not able to do that. So they decided to keep it simple, keep it cheap, and go to this little water hole here, so that the kids could keep cool. And Hunter wanted to go along with them. So, and according to him, he said both. He said that he just likes to hang out with Summer because he thinks of her as a little sister. And also he at one point he tells Chris here that he just wanted to get out of the house. You know, I'm not going to lie. I just want to get out of the house. So, you know, which is both perfectly understandable reasons. But it's just weird to me how this family, how Candus and I think her name is Allie, Hunter's mom. It's interesting that they don't get along in the slightest bit. Like they seem to just hate each other. And somehow or another, for some reason, Hunter still felt the need to go along with them. But I mean, he could just be whatever. That's got nothing to do with me and my mom and her. That's their problem. It's got nothing to do with me. So it's not too suspicious. It's just something to question. But when you really think about it, yeah, Crime Story, I'm with you. I don't find her to be very credible at all. And I honestly, I don't really find Hunter's. I think Hunter his story was kind of weird. Or at least the way that he was delivering the information when he was being interviewed by Chris here. I found it kind of strange because he was pushing the narrative that Candus was responsible for Summer's disappearance. He was just pushing it. It was really weird. And Candus doesn't seem to understand why. But we'll get to that.
And I'll just follow you, okay?
No.
She'll. I'll
I agree,
follow you
Steffi
on
SG.
which
It
direction
seemed to me like he was
Slow
being
motion
coached.
now.
I know. So which direction does Hunter go?
He went that way.
He went that way. Now, was he in a bathing suit?
I think there was a lot of that. I think there was a lot of that going on, Crystal Miller. I feel like there's just a lot of trash talk. I'm assuming that the mom, Hunter's mom, having some sort of beef with Candus. I think Summer disappearing just ended up triggering her to just start going on tangents about, and I'm just speculating here. I don't know what went on in that house, but the way that she talked in the interview with Unmasked led me to believe that she was this type of busybody person that likes to just spin, and so, I mean, imagine how much trash talk this 15-year-old is subject to between her and the grandmother in the house. And you know what I mean? Like, so, and this kid is definitely going to be loyal to his mom, and how much of this is being pushed on him in that household, and how easy is he to be convinced that something happened? So I don't find Hunter to be credible by default, because I didn't find his mother to be credible in the slightest bit in her interview with Unmasked. And by the way, that's no jab at Unmasked. I think Unmasked did an incredible job interviewing her. I just don't find her to be credible. Allie, I mean.
The shirt on.
Okay, and Summer, was she in her bathing suit?
Yes.
And how did she get in her bathing suit? Or...
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay.
So it was just something small and thin, not so hot.
Okay.
Because I know how she gets too hot.
Okay. And what was the temperature that day? Give me an idea.
Probably in the 80s.
Okay. So it's Tennessee warm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hot here in Tennessee,
and
guys.
Are you an air conditioned person?
It's hot right now.
In your mom's truck?
I was just walking the dogs.
AC on or
I don't like AC.
Okay. So what happened? Where do you go?
Now I found that interesting. She's like, I don't like AC. They didn't have the AC on in the car. So that's noteworthy. She didn't say the AC was broken. She didn't say the car doesn't have AC. She says, I don't like AC. I don't like air conditioning. I don't know anybody who doesn't like air conditioning. But I mean, I grew up in Miami, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I had a car without AC in Miami, and it was hell. It sucked. So, I mean, but to each their own, man.
Guys going? Where's Summer going here?
We all walked down this path, me, my mom, and Summer.
All right. So all three of you together.
Yeah.
Now, how does Mom's knee handle this hill here?
Well, she uses her cane, so it's a little bit easier, and she'll hold on to my shoulder so
okay.
she doesn't fall or nothing.
So you're kind of escorting her down here.
Yeah.
And is Summer ahead of you or behind you?
She's right here in front of me.
Okay. So walk me through that.
Oh, we're just walking down through here. I mean, usually, like I said,
Oh, thank you so much, Kimberly Hensley.
Okay.
Myself.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was just standing here at the end, and then, well, the water's up a lot further than it usually is. Usually it's down. You can usually see all that wood sticking up out of the water. And she was just playing right here.
And what time do you get here about, if you remember?
I couldn't even tell you, to be honest with you. Time is... I don't keep track of time.
No, I understand.
I mean, I get up in the morning, I do my thing with the kids, and then we go to bed.
Okay.
I can't even tell you. I know I went...
I mean, for people who don't work, that's not really uncommon. I mean, I've got clocks all over the place. I've got two cell phones that aren't even connected, but I've got two cell phones that tell time. I've got an oven that tells time, and a stove. I've got a cable box over here that tells time. I mean, it's just, I've got a computer right here in front of me that tells me what time it is. You know, but the truth is, I mean, these are people who just get up in the morning whenever they wake up. She does her thing with her kids, like she just said. And then when they're tired, they go to bed. You know, this is country living, man. That's just how it is. Did you know that breakfast, the concept of breakfast, okay? This is real. This is a fact. The concept of breakfast was invented by cereal companies in order to sell cereal. Nobody did breakfast. They would get up like farmers. They would get up, crack of dawn, get to work, and then when they got hungry, they'd go inside and eat. That was it. It's a myth that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. No, it's not, actually. It's not. It's helpful, you know, so you don't get hungry by 10 o'clock and you start your job at 9 and you get hungry at 10 and you're like, oh man, lunch isn't until 12. So yeah, it's good to eat something to start your day off. Sure. But make no mistake that there's nothing, there's no doctor that said, oh my God, breakfast, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't always a thing. Breakfast, as a matter of fact, cereal. Here's another fun fact. The first breakfast cereal was cornflakes. Cornflakes was invented by a psychiatrist. Okay. This is a fact, people. Cornflakes was invented by a psychiatrist who ran a lunatic asylum, basically, a mental health facility, for lack of a better term. And he created this bland breakfast cereal, and the purpose of it, again, this is a fact, folks. The purpose of it was to detour people from the urge of masturbation, to detour the patients from the urge to masturbate. That is absolutely, look it up. That is a fact. So yeah, it does. My point of bringing all this up is it does, for those reasons, it does not surprise me in the slightest bit that Candus, she just wakes up, does whatever she needs to do with her kids, and goes about her day, goes to bed when she's tired. That's it. You know, so I don't find it weird and suspicious that she doesn't keep track of time. Why does she need to keep track of time? For what?
To the hospital at 8 with my mom, dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital in the parking lot waiting on my mom to get done. And he said, well, why don't y'all come over? I said, well, as long as your mom says it's okay. And I guess he woke her up or said something to her, and he said, yeah, she said that's fine for a little bit, because I guess his grandma was coming over or something. She don't like her. But I don't like her either. So.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, seems like you guys have had a falling out. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And,
it's stupid part on Al, really honest.
What was it over?
Well, I don't know if it was her husband or Hunter, I'm just going to say Hunter's daddy, come out with all these guys and stuff, and we're supposed to move down here. And they couldn't find a place to stay or whatever. Well, I don't really remember what this guy's name was. I know he's a Mexican, I think. And
that Jose guy?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, she wanted him to stay. And she was also staying at my house.
Okay.
So I said, well, if you're going to be with him, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's y'all's deal. And I don't know, they did whatever they did because I didn't really pay attention to them. I just hung out with the kids and my mom. And then one day he just goes, I like chicks with dicks. Mm-hmm. After him and her did whatever. And she got all
sorry,
pissed
that made
off
me
and
laugh.
just said, hold on, I'm taking you and my kids back to my place. I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know what really happened.
Okay.
She just went off the handle. And ever since that, she's, I don't know, she's just been hateful towards me. And I don't know, I don't get it.
Okay.
I really wish I could understand it.
Okay.
And she stuck me with that guy. And then my husband got home. And he's like, well, who's this guy, you know? And I'm like, Allie left him here, abandoned him here. I was like, he ain't got no place to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then my mom took him after my husband and him
So
got into a little
basically,
my mom took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house.
sorry, give me 1 second.
And then that was the end of him. I never heard from
What
him
would
again.
and that show your mom?
So according to Candus here, Hunter's dad. So this is what basically fueled the falling out between Candus and Allie. Was Hunter's dad came down and she tried to like have a thing with him, and for whatever reason he couldn't stay at Allie's house, so she stayed at Candus's house, and somewhere along there, he reveals that he prefers transvestites over, straight women. So which is the next thing you know, she basically abandons him and basically leaves this stray dude at Candus's house, and he's just staying there. And so I guess this kind of estranged them as friends. Transgender Crystal Miller, thank you for correcting me on that. I'm not very, and I apologize, I don't mean to seem insensitive to the LGBTQ community. I'm just not very well versed in it. It's not something I pay a whole lot of attention to. Just so I apologize if I've offended anybody. It was not my intention. I don't know much about it. But thank you for clearing that up, Crystal Miller.
Mom drove him up there.
Yeah, my mom did.
Okay.
And I never heard from the guy again.
What part of North Carolina do you know?
I don't even know.
Okay. What kind
So her
of vehicle
mom
did he have, if any?
So grandma ends up driving the dude up to North Carolina. She's like, I don't even know, like whatever, get rid of him. And grandma ends up driving him. So she's just kind of like in the dark about the whole thing, more or less, kind of a whole none of my business, type situation, seems like.
He didn't have no vehicle.
Okay. But your mom took him
My
up?
mom took him in her truck.
Got it. Straight up. Okay. Then, so you're
Straight
down
up.
here, and all of a sudden now, Summer is doing what?
Somebody's just playing in the water right here.
Okay.
I'm just standing right here. All the flowers that died that were there on that.
Oh, so there were a bunch of flowers
There was
here?
a bunch of flowers right here, yeah, on this little petal. I don't know what, I guess they've all died now, but.
Okay. And where's Grandma?
Mom's standing right here.
Okay.
And I'm over here close to the edge just because Summer's in the water. You
Sure.
know what I'm saying? That's
Sure.
my thing.
Okay.
And she's just playing, like a normal kid would play in the water. And then Hunter came from wherever he was and come down here and was standing here. I don't want to get all wet, but
Yeah.
he was like standing here and Summer was out a little bit further there, too far apart from like me and your wife is.
Okay. Is that the TikTok video you took?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see how far they were apart.
Yeah, I can see it. Right.
And with him sitting there saying that she fell on a rock, there's no rock. Where do you see a rock?
Right. Yeah, the only rocks I saw were right over here
Yeah,
and
they're
then
not
up
even-
there.
Yeah, they're way over there, and I'm right here.
Okay. So this is where she is, though.
Yeah, this is where she is right here.
Okay. And how is she? What's her behavior?
She's jumping around, splashing, having a good
just Summer.
time, just like Summer would always do.
Okay.
I mean, that's how all my kids are.
Okay.
They just splash around and have a good time.
Wait, did
Does
I
she
miss
go
that?
underwater
Hold on
at
a
any
second.
time?
Playing, like a normal kid would.
Down here, and
Guy, and then my husband got home. He's like, well, who's this guy, And I'm like, Allie left him here, abandoned him here. I was like, he ain't got no place to go. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And then my mom took him after my husband and him got into a little squirrel. My mom took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house. And then that was the end of him. I never heard from
What
him
would,
again.
and that? So your mom drove him up there?
Yeah, my mom did.
Okay.
And I never heard from the guy again.
What part of North Carolina do you know?
I don't even know.
Okay. What kind of vehicle did he have, if any?
He didn't have no vehicle.
Okay. Your
See,
mom.
he's really good at this. I mean, he's former law enforcement. So I feel like the way that he's interviewing her is the way a law enforcement officer would do. And he's trying to trip her up. He's not being disrespectful. He's just trying to get to the truth. And he's trying to see if she's credible, if she's being honest, if she's being truthful. He knows that he doesn't have a vehicle. He already knows. He already knows that mom just said that Candus just said that her mom, grandma, drove the guy up to North Carolina. And then he asked her what kind of vehicle did he drive, just to see what she would say. And he was like, he didn't have no vehicle. So he's on her, man. He's it's not like he's taking it easy on her either. He's not being biased here in the slightest bit. He's trying to get to the truth.
My mom took him in her truck.
Got it. Straight up. Okay. Then, so you're down here.
Straight up.
And all of a sudden now, Summer is doing what?
Summer's just playing in the water right here.
Okay.
I'm just standing right here. All the flowers that died that were there on that.
Oh, so there were a bunch of flowers here?
A bunch of flowers right here, yeah, on this little petal. I don't know what, I guess they've all died now, but.
Okay. And where's Grandma?
Mom's standing right here.
Okay.
And I'm over here close to the edge just because Summer's in the water.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Sure.
my thing.
Okay.
And she's just playing, like a normal kid would play in the water.
I mean, she's recapping everything. Like, she is completely consistent. She's not tripping up on anything. She has these details to a T. So right here, I find this interesting because this is not somebody when people are trying to say, oh, well, she remembers things too well. Like in that first television interview that she did, people were like, she remembers things too well. It sounds rehearsed. And I mean, so because she's consistent in her story, she rehearsed it, made it up. That's ridiculous. But you're seeing right now, she's in this area. She remembers everything. Now, and here we all are, even me, I said it. I said that she appeared to be under the influence of something, quite possibly. But somebody who habitually is under the influence of things, habitually, I don't think they're going to have this kind of memory. They're either A, not going to be able to remember all these details, or B, they're not going to be able to remember their own lives. They're not going to be able to keep up with their lives. So that's why I'm finding what she's saying very credible.
And then Hunter came from wherever he was and come down here and was standing here. I don't want to get all wet, but
yeah.
He was like standing here and Summer was out a little bit further in, pretty far apart from like me and my wife is.
Okay. Is that the TikTok video you took?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see how far they were apart.
Yeah, I can see it, right.
And with him sitting there saying that she fell on a rock, there's no rock. Where do you see a rock?
Right. Yeah, the only rocks I saw were right over here.
Yeah, and
then up there.
Now,
yeah, they're way over there, and I'm right here.
Now, one thing she's saying, well, where do you see a rock? There's no rock. But you're also going to hear her say something about the wood, that the water is much higher now, and you can see all the wood a lot better. So it could just be possible that the water's higher now, and there was a rock there. But I believe her in the sense that she's like saying that Summer slipped on a rock, but where's, she didn't slip on no rock. I was watching my daughter. She didn't slip on any rock. You know what I mean?
Okay. So this is where she is, though.
Yeah, this is where she is right here.
Okay. And how is she? What's her behavior?
She's jumping around, splashing, having a good time,
Summer.
just like Summer would always do.
Okay.
I mean, that's how all my kids are.
Okay.
Welcome, Bobby
Splash
Pin.
around and have a good time.
Thank you for
Does she
joining.
go underwater at any time that you see?
Oh, she just tips her head in, but sticks it right back up. I mean, it was only up to here
So
at the time.
where did this idea of under the water,
I have no idea
where's
where
that
even
come from? Okay.
That just blew my mind when I heard that. I was like, she didn't even go into, because when she was playing in the water, I was literally taking the TikTok video just to watch, and I did different things.
So for Hunter to imply that she wasn't paying attention to Summer, I mean, we saw the TikTok video. of Summer playing in the water that day. We saw it. She's filming her daughter. She's making videos of her daughter playing in the water. This is a parent that's proud of her child. That's what it indicates to me. And hold on real quick. Yes, and Chris will be doing a part 2. There's a part 2 to this interview that takes place in their home or at their home. And after that, late tonight, I'll be going over that interview as well.
Things, because that's how TikTok is. You can do different things with them.
Right.
And I was just taking TikTok video, and he come up out of there somewhere, and I was like, just flashed around, and then he threw up gang signs.
Do you know them?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
And then he started throwing up gang signs, and I'm like, so I moved it back away from him as quick as I could, and I was videoing them flowers, and then back at Summer again real quick.
Now that is consistent with Hunter's story. Hunter was saying that he was throwing up gang signs, and so Candus, I guess, did not want that affiliated with her TikTok videos, which I fully understand. So she's explaining that she moved the camera away from him so that she would not film him doing that. She was focused on trying to get footage of her daughter having fun.
And then he decided to get in the water right there. And he went like this with the water a couple times. I told him, please stop that. She don't like to be splashed.
Okay.
And so he quit and got out. And I said, come on, Summer, we got to go get Grandma's prescription. And we just got back in the truck and left.
Okay, so a lot has been said about the tea thing, right? And there's Can over there and stuff. Now, I asked Hunter,
when we come down
tell me
here,
the story on that.
This place was littered in trash.
Okay.
It was all trash down here. Like, them teas were all.
I mean, look at that area right there.
Everywhere.
Guys, we're talking about an area of Tennessee. Okay. I'm telling you right now, we're talking about an area of Tennessee where there is literally one Walmart. Okay. And about a dozen Dollar Generals scattered around, but very rural, nothing to do. So when you have people, I mean, you're going to have young people that are going to go to a spot like this and they're going to drink and they're going to swim and they're going to have a good time because it's really all there is to do. Am I boring you, Marianne V? No, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Panda's, yeah, Panda's being a good girl. He's a good girl. Like Panda sweetie. Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense to me that a lot of people would go there and it would be a spot for them to, you know, smoke weed and drink and, you know, have fun. There's nothing else to do. I mean, there's nowhere to go. You know, they don't have a mall in that area. They don't have anything.
Where?
Okay.
There was flowers that my mom wanted to pick from here, and I said, Mom, you better not do that. It's a state park. You get in trouble for that if you get caught.
Okay.
I'm not getting caught for that.
Okay.
And I told her, and we just walked on back to the truck.
Now, what she says right there, some people found somewhat suspicious. She says, this is a state park. You get caught picking those flowers, you get in trouble. You get caught doing that, you get in trouble. She says, I'm not getting caught for that. Like trying to imply, well, if she's going to get caught for something, it's not going to be that. And I didn't take it that way. Personally, I could see how somebody could take it that way if there was a lot of other things that would be suspicious, but that's literally the only thing I heard in this interview that I found even remotely that could even remotely be considered suspicious. And I just don't see it. She just sounds like to me, she's just saying this is just a stupid thing to get in trouble for. So don't do that. You know what I mean? We're not talking about, you know, somebody who's very well educated, it seems like, based on her vocabulary. So maybe she just didn't use the right wordage, which ironically, that's not the right word to use. But Yeah, I didn't find that to be very suspicious.
But I don't know where that iced tea coming from. I know that I did buy an iced tea from the smoke shop in town, but I bought that iced tea from my mother.
Okay.
And if she was here today, she would tell you that.
Right.
And the vapes that I bought were nicotine vapes from the hippie house
next door.
Thank you, Dexter Beasley. I appreciate it, bud.
No, they're kind of one's further down by the mall. The smoke shop's further down by the mall where I got the iced tea, and the hippie house is just right over here before you cross over the bridge.
Got it.
Now she's cooperating with Hunter's story too. Okay, Diane McCall. Let me see. Will, thank you so much for doing coverage of summer. I've been watching past clips of yours. I believe this mom. I can't imagine. I would have to be drugged to even speak. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I mean, she's going through a lot. She really is. So thank you so much for the super chat. But yeah, thank you more for your comment there, because I totally agree with you. I mean, it's not anybody's place here to start judging this woman just yet. We don't have any information to pass judgment on her. Yeah, I'm finding, you know, the places where they went, you know, the hippie house and the smoke shop. This is stuff. Now, what's different though is Hunter says that they stopped at a Walgreens and picked up the twisted tea there. That he asked her for it, she gave it to him. She bought it for him and gave it to him. But what she's saying here is she picked it up at the smoke shop for her mom. Which, I mean, it's something she could be lying about. You know what I mean? I mean, it's something she could be lying about, but I don't, you know, I don't want to see her get in trouble for something that, you know what I mean? Do I agree with her buying a minor alcohol? No, I don't at all. But to, you know, one little can of twisted tea and to get a charge for contributing to the delinquency of a minor while your daughter's missing, and then your kids are taken from your home, you know, of course she's going to lie about that. Now, I'm not saying that she's lying here, but I can understand why she would lie about that, is my point. I don't agree with I don't agree with her buying a kid alcohol in the slightest bit, but I can see why she would lie about it. Hunter said nobody went into Walgreens. I could have sworn that Hunter said that that's where they picked up Candace's mom's prescription. So I don't know about that. I could be wrong though. I only listened to the interview once, so I don't know. Okay, Walgreens drive-through. Gotcha. All right, thank you guys for clearing that up. I appreciate it.
Okay, so the smoke shop where you bought the
we went to the hospital,
right,
and picked up my mom,
right,
and then we stopped at the smoke shop and I got mom that twisted tea that she wanted, and then I stopped at the hippie house and got me some smoked nicotine vapes is what I got.
Okay, what flavor?
So basically,
there were Skittles.
This is consistent with Hunter's story, at least this part of it.
Do they have like a different
other
taste?
than the fact that
tastes like Skittles.
Okay,
it's the only kind I'll buy.
And this is all consistent with what Hunter was saying, except for the fact that he claims that the twisted tea was for him. She's claiming that she bought it for her mom. And Hunter said that because she was driving, that's why it wasn't for her. So Hunter admits that she was not drinking that day.
And we left from there, and we went straight down to Walgreens and went to the drive-thru. But after we were done at the hippie house, I think we bought 3 of them. I think.
I don't think she's focused on Hunter's
I set them right
story.
there on the council. And
Let me address that comment real quick. I don't think that she's actually focused on Hunter's story at all. I think she's just giving her own account of that day. Both her and Hunter were there. She's not focused on Hunter's story. She's focused on telling her account of what took place that day from her perspective. They were both there. So obviously there's going to be similarities, if not complete and total exact consistency between the two stories. Okay. And Hunter asked for the tea after she bought it. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. But I mean, if that's the case, then, if she bought it for her mom, well, then it was the grandma. You know what I'm saying? If it was her tea and then Hunter goes, hey, can I have that? Well, then the grandma, I would be, if I'm the grandma, I'd be like, no, dude, that's mine. Get the hell out of here. That's mine. I asked her to buy that for me. The hell on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, if that didn't happen, then she was like, fine, let him have it. So basically the grandma's the one who actually gave it to him, if that's the case. Sam B saying the persona H put off, gangster wannabe, not impressive, doesn't make me want to believe him. Just me though, just a teen trying to act tough. That's how I see him too. Just a teen trying to be tough. And I think that the conversations going around his house are it leaves an impression on him. And he wants to make his mom proud. He wants his mom, so yeah, that's why I'm not finding his story very credible. But the gangster wannabe thing has nothing to do with it. That's common 15-year-old stuff,
And he asked for one. I said, no, you can't have none.
Did he take one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honest God, I don't know.
Okay.
But then we went to the Walgreens and dropped off Mom's prescription. I said, well, if we got to wait 30 minutes, why don't we just bring Summer down here and let her play for a little bit?
Okay.
And that's what we did.
Okay.
There was nothing. I honestly didn't see him drink nothing down here. I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't.
All right. So it's your word against his, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay. On this scenario right here. Okay. So from here, where do you guys go?
Walgreens to pick up my mom's prescription.
Okay. Is that the Walgreens right down at the edge?
Yeah, right straight across.
It's the one that I showed the other day that it's right down here.
Yeah. When we turned to come down here.
Yeah. He had a nervous thing when he was talking too. Like he kept yawning. Which I found interesting. And there was a lot of different theories on that. It could be very much that he's on medication, on ADHD medication, such as Adderall, that has that effect. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, and the thing is, what you have to understand is Adderall is an upper, right? Adderall has a lot of the same effects that even cocaine has, right? But you take one very common thing to do when you have a very hyperactive child, a small child, you actually give them coffee before they go to bed, right? People are like, what? You do, because it has the opposite effect on somebody who is ADHD. It has the opposite effect. So, right. Basically, right. Aaron Berger, perfect example. Exactly. Yeah. So, it has the opposite effect. So stimulants work more as a depressant for someone who is already ADHD. When I was in my bad days, in my bad days in Miami, me and all my friends did a lot of cocaine. Okay. And whenever I would do it, I was the quietest because I'm already animated and I'm already, very extroverted. Right. So because I'm ADHD, but when I would do blow with my friends, I would be sitting there quiet and I would yawn a lot. So, and my friends were talking and they were animated and, when normally they're usually pretty just chill and whatever, but I would be the opposite. I was usually the extroverted one in the group, but when we were doing coke, I was the quiet sitting in the corner, observing everybody, eyes bugged out, but quiet and chill. Very, very strange. So this is something that I'm imagining if he's diagnosed with ADHD and he's on some sort of something like Adderall, then I'm guessing that's the effect. He kept yawning as he was talking. Right. Exactly. Yeah. You give a kid who has ADHD, you give them coffee and they calm right down.
It's right there on the corner.
Okay, and you get mom's prescription.
Yep.
Then what happens?
Then I told mom, I said, why don't we get a Sonic?
Okay.
Because it's hot out.
Right.
So we drove in there, got a Sonic.
Right across the street.
Yep, right across the street.
Okay.
And then we left from there, and I went up Moreland Drive because I had to pick up a few things. I was in the store for maybe 5 minutes. Okay. Grabbed some milk and some cheese, and I don't remember what else I bought.
Okay. And that's the foodless?
No,
or
priceless.
Priceless. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then I was like, Hunter, you're not coming to the house. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going back to your house. Okay. And I took him back to his house and dropped him off and left. And Summer was still awake when I left his house. Okay. Okay. And Allie did never walk to the truck and try to talk to me or okay. I tried to get her to come over and talk to me, but she wouldn't. Okay. Where does from here, when you left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned, what flavors do you buy? Do you remember? I think I got me and Mom a grape. Is that your favorite? Not my mom.
I don't know about all that.
That's my favorite.
I don't know about all that, but one thing that stood out to me was she's talking about being this really protective parent. But while she's on this interview with Unmasked, it was like, I think it was day before 4th of July or the day after. I think it was like the day before 4th of July, or it was the same week for sure. And they were just lighting fireworks completely and totally unsupervised. A bunch of kids just lighting fireworks totally unsupervised while she's criticizing Candus's parenting. So I just found that really ironic. Yeah. I just don't find her credible at all.
I don't remember what Mom got. She got, it's like a cool water or something like that. Okay. And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one, I think. Okay, is that the slushy? Yeah. Okay. Slushies. I don't know. Did you buy food? Nope. Just the slushies? Just the slushies. Okay. Then what happened? And then we left from there, went to Priceless, and I wasn't even in there 5 minutes. Okay. Grabbed my milk, come right back out the door, and he was sitting there.
Hunter said, now this I remember distinctly. Okay.
I mean,
Hunter said they were in there for like an hour. And I thought that was weird. I was like, why are they leaving them in the car for over an hour? She's saying it wasn't even 5 minutes. She went in there, grabbed the milk or whatever she needed to grab and came out. And I'm the same way. When I go to the store, I'm like, dude, I'm going in there. I got an agenda. I hate shopping. I hate shopping. I can't stand it. Like, the entire experience bothers me. If I go into the store, like for some reason, it doesn't matter what store I'm in. This is why I hate the mall. Like I'm going there with an agenda. I know exactly what I'm going to buy. I know exactly where I'm going to buy it, and I'm getting to the counter, paying for it, and leaving. I want out. I want out. So whenever Yeah, but ET phone home, you saw how annoyed I was trying to find that pesto, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was so annoyed because I didn't want to be in the store. And like, there's always like a family of like 5 right in front of me, walking as slowly as they could possibly walk, spread out, like just bunched up together, but horizontally lined up, and I can't get around them. And I'm just like, move, get out of my way before I barrel you down. I can't stand being at the store. I hate it.
And then for him to sit there and say that he doesn't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made TikToks.
Okay.
Honest God.
I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay.
I got some business I got to take care of.
Got it. Roger that. So from
Hi,
there,
Jolene.
you go back to Hunter's house.
I drop him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of
it was sitting right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside.
Oh.
I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer and just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake sitting up.
Okay.
Like, she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change clothes?
Yeah, I changed the clothes because when I have the windows down, it could be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows up. Roll up the window, Mommy, I'm cold. And she not be cold, but I still do it.
Is that part of Summer's
That's
personality?
just Summer.
Tell me about Summer.
Tell you about
All
Summer.
right. So she's saying that even if it's 100 degrees, Summer will say that she's cold. So that's an explanation as to why she doesn't run the air conditioner. They're both people who seem to be, they prefer the heat to the cold. Now, mind you, here in Tennessee, as hot as it is right now, in the wintertime, it gets pretty cold. Now, it doesn't get below 0 like it does in Canada, you know, or like New York or New Jersey. But it has, I mean, it's gotten down since I've lived here 3 years almost. It's gotten down to, actually, I have lived here 3 years. Well, no, going on 3 years, almost 3 years. It's gotten down to, I think, like the lowest it got was like 12 degrees. But my point is, it gets very, very cold here, nevertheless. So they're probably just people who are like, you know, God, I can't wait till summertime. I like to be in the heat. When I was a kid, I was like that. I hated the cold. Now I prefer the cold. I prefer the cold over the heat any day of the week.
Summer.
She's a happy little girl.
Okay.
She's the best little girl anybody could imagine. Just like, well, I don't really want to say her name.
Yeah, don't say her name.
But, you know, happy-go-lucky. Nothing ever brings her down hardly.
Mm-hmm. Today's a tough day for you, I can tell.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's been tough lately.
Tell me about that.
Well, every time I look around, I see her face.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, help me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rocks. Whatever Mom likes, you know, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
And it was just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video.
There's no reason to not believe this part of this story. Because we've seen several videos and pictures of Summer. Generally, when a parent does something to their child, it's because they're trying to get rid of the child, because the child is a burden to them. They don't take pictures. They don't keep pictures. They don't show any pride in having this child. And that's always a big red flag to me. When a child goes missing, I'm just like, well, where are the pictures? You know what I mean? Like, you love this kid so much. Why don't you have any pictures? Why aren't you you're standing here. If a parent has a missing child and they're doing some sort of press conference, like a big press conference with a bunch of people, with a bunch of reporters and a bunch of cameras, they're take their phone and they go, look, this is my little girl, blah, 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 blah. Now she hasn't done a big press conference, but she's done interviews and she has shared, a whole bunch of videos and a whole bunch of pictures. So, I mean, and this is, everybody kept talking about the video, that it was somehow suspicious. She's explaining exactly what I figured was the case, because she says in the video, you see her in the video go, does she still have her arms up? Does she still have her arms up? But the grandma accidentally hit video, meaning to take a picture, but she didn't have her arms up anymore when she reached back and took the video, accidentally wanting to take a picture, a still photograph. And that's a perfect explanation. She had her arms up. She explained why she thought it was cute and wanted to capture the moment, because she sleeps like her dad. Her dad supposedly sleeps with his arms up like that. So she wanted to capture that moment, probably to show Don and be like, look how cute. That's a very, very common thing to do. It's common for a loving parent to do.
That's the picture part.
Okay.
So, like, did you catch it? She like, no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for handing grandma the camera.
Yeah. Well, I was driving though.
Okay.
And I was like, did you put her arm back down? She's like, yeah. I was like, dang. And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down. But her arm was up most of the time like this.
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down.
Okay.
And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car.
See, this is the kind of ignorance that gets on my nerves, man. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm glad you're here, but it's like you're looking for a reason to pin something on these parents, when what we should be doing is the opposite. Because here's the thing: is let's say tomorrow or today even, one of these or both of these parents are arrested in suspicion. I'm not going to feel sorry or stupid for having defended them. I'm not going to feel sorry or stupid for wanting to think the best of these people. People always say, oh, well, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. If the parents didn't do it, then if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I mean, why put yourself in a position where you have to apologize in the first place? I'm not going to have to apologize for anything if it turns out what am I going to apologize for? Having empathy? I'm going to apologize for giving parents the benefit of the doubt that they're loving parents. Why would I apologize for that? You understand what I'm saying? So it's, people like this are, that was done for a reason. Oh, and then released. Come on, get real, man. Like, why are you looking for a reason to find that suspicious when she just gave a perfectly logical explanation as to why she took that picture and how it happened that way? So what? So what, dude? And I'm not going to spend this whole live arguing with you, but so what? I know there's a missing child. We all know there's a missing child. What do you think I'm doing up here? And yes, they were last seen with her. So what? That doesn't mean that they did anything. Most parents with missing kids, the kid was last seen with that person, with that parent. Like 99% of them. Get real. You know what I'm saying? Adam Walsh was last seen with his mom. Got lost in a store. Kid disappeared from the store. I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. Now, here's the thing. There's the secondary drowning thing. We're going to get to that in just a second. Yeah. I mean, and he's right. You know, he's right. This guy went into this interview with the only intention he had was to get to the truth. He didn't have some hidden agenda of, I'm going to prove that these parents did something. I'm going to prove that they didn't do something. He's like, I'm going to ask questions like I would a law enforcement officer. It's in his nature to be that. And so he conducted this interview in a very, very, he was extremely empathetic towards her. And he was very, he even used little tricks, as I pointed out, to try to trip her up and just to see if she was going to get consistent. These are signs of someone trying to get to the truth and nothing else.
Went and grabbed the boys from the house and come help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
And now, who was home when you got home?
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
My 3 sons.
He will be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really. They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second, and we never even planned. I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with us that day at all.
Got it.
He just called and was like, "Want to come over for a second?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll come over for a second, but I got to get right back to Mom." And that was all it was a quick second thing.
Got it.
And he's like, "Mom, can I go with them?" I'm like sitting there shaking my head like this, and I was like, "I don't care." So I'm just like, "Okay, whatever."
Okay.
You know, I didn't even think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I always take them kids. Every time they call me and ask me, come get me, I always come get them because their mom don't do nothing with them.
Okay.
She just sits there.
That seems to be the difference between you and Allie. You guys have a difference in terms of what you say you do and what she says she does, right? There's always that. It seems to be a conflict.
Conflict somewhere.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Finish your
But
thought.
I'm always taking the kids like it was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago. I went over to Allie's and I asked Allie if she wanted her and the kids wanted to go up to, I want to call it Ducktown because that's where we're planning on going. With Ducktown. And she's like, "No, I'm going to sleep, blah, blah, blah."
And so what you're doing is admitting to doing exactly what law enforcement is advising us all not to do. You're saying, I'm not mad. Okay, great. You're not mad. I'm not mad either. But you're saying, just gave my theory. Who are you to give a theory? That's my point. Who are you to theorize on what happened when you weren't there? You've never spent any time with these people. You don't know them from Adam. You don't know Summer. You don't know the actual circumstances of what took place that day. And, you know, there's nothing to agree with me on or disagree with me on. I'm not sitting here saying that these parents are innocent. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is you don't know that they're guilty. And it's irresponsible of you or anyone else to assume that they're guilty, because what if you're wrong? Look at what they've been going through. It is up to law enforcement to figure this out. It is up to law enforcement to speculate. It is up to law enforcement to theorize. It is not your place to theorize or speculate. That is my point. I mean, he's not being rude. But he's being ignorant to a certain level. And that annoys me. I'm not going to lie. That level of ignorance it annoys me. Because the TBI is telling everyone on social media to not do exactly what he is doing right here on my channel. So it does irritate me because, as J.S. for Justice said, it muddies the waters. It makes it harder for law enforcement to get to the truth. Because you're not a professional. You're nobody to theorize anything.
like, all right. And Hunter's like, well, can I go? And Allie's like, yeah, go ahead. So we took him up to Ducktown with us and stuff, and brought him back, and everything was fine. I thought we were good friends, but I guess she's trying to get back at me for some reason. I don't know.
Those are reasons that
They're beyond me.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
and you know what? That's not for me, right? That's let the authorities figure that out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's for the authorities to figure
I'm not
out.
trying to fight this.
Right.
Or say something that I say. I'm not into all that game.
I'm here to help find your daughter.
I want to find Summer. I don't even care about anybody else's bullcrap. I want to find my daughter.
I do too. Okay.
That's all this matters to me.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
All right, real quick. The winner of Handle of the Day, picking my wedgies. You win Handle of the Day.
That I'm on that same page with you. All these people, I'm sure, are on the exact same page as well. I think you know that, right?
Yeah.
So walk me through when you got home.
Okay.
You unload the grocery. What exactly is going down there?
Well, I bring my kids out, and we all unload the groceries, but we all go in my house first because we sort out my mom's groceries from her groceries.
Okay.
We always do.
Yeah.
And we did that, and Mom walked back across, and me and Summer were putting groceries away, and watching TV off and on, and just chilling with the boys, hanging out, and then we decided to do some laundry, because my kids, they got 80 pairs of pants, 80 pairs, each one of them.
Okay.
So, doing laundry at my house is like
A job, right?
It's a job.
Right. Do you have a bulldozer?
No. Sometimes I wish I did.
Okay.
That's just stupid.
Got it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Doing laundry.
We learned this from the Joe Clyde Daniels case. Law enforcement keeps what they have to themselves, man. They don't want to obstruct their investigation. They're trying to get to the truth. They're trying to get justice for these kids, for these victims. And we don't know exactly what Summer is a victim of just yet. And we don't know who's responsible yet. Right now, law enforcement, as far as the public is concerned, is only focused on locating her. That is what they're focused on. As far as we know, that's what they want us to know. And we should respect that, period. And there's a reason why they keep this stuff to themselves, because they don't want their investigation obstructed. So whether it be that they're just trying to find Summer, or whether it be that they're trying to solve a murder, it is not your place to speculate, and it is not your place to flood social media with a bunch of theories and speculation from people who don't know anything. You don't specialize in this stuff. And even still, like this guy's opinion matters because he's standing right in front of the mother of this child. He's standing right in front of the person that was last seen with her. So he's perfectly qualified to give an opinion because he's former law enforcement as well. This is what he does. You're not. You're not there standing in front of her, and you don't have a law enforcement background. So I don't want to hear it. But we saw it in the Joe Clyde Daniels case. I covered that trial every day. I covered that trial every day. I got stricken, and then I had to come up with an alt channel so I can keep covering it. And the fact is we learned so many things from that trial. We had hardly any information prior to this trial regarding that case. We had enough to go, not that dude did it, because he confessed to it. We knew that Joe Ray Daniels confessed to killing his son. But there was all kinds of details that came out, all kinds of circumstantial evidence. We saw the patterns of their search. Also a Tennessee case, by the way. We saw so many different things that they did not let us know during their investigation, but did come out at trial. We don't know what's going to happen here. Yo, Cherry K, man, if you got to do it, do it. If people are arguing with each other and they're being disrespectful to each other, time them out. 300-day ass.
Laundry and stuff, and kids are all sitting there watching TV, chilling. And I stepped down. I noticed Mom was sitting on the step, and her step is like literally from here to that tree, at my doorstep.
Okay.
I can literally walk over and be right there.
Okay.
And she's like looking around. I was like, "What's your problem?" She's like, "We got to get these plants transplanted into bigger pots."
Okay.
And she.
Now you're sitting on the front porch, or where you all?
No, I'm not sitting.
Are you in the house?
No. She's sitting on our camper step right there. And,
okay.
And the flowers are here on both sides.
Okay.
And I'm just standing there. We're just talking. And she's like, "We got to get these transplanted." And I was like, "All right, well." She goes, "Well, we know the boys ain't going to help because they don't like to do flowers."
Yeah, well, boy does, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, "But I know someone that will." So I ran back in the house and I grabbed Summer. She was sitting in the kitchen playing with her little, what are them? Little short guys with the big eyeballs.
Okay.
And I was like, "Summer, you want to plant flowers with me and Grandma?"
Is that the LOL things? Are they?
No, they're not.
Like,
I mean, look, like she is just spitting out consistently. She's spitting out the smallest detail. She remembers the exact toy that Summer was playing with.
She didn't really like LOLs.
Okay.
She didn't care for those. No, I don't know.
She knows her daughter. She knows what she likes.
They're all kinds
She knows
of
what she
different
doesn't like.
like different animals, but they got big eyes.
Okay.
She liked them, so I bought them for her. And she was saying, I was like, "Summer, you want to do some flower planting and stuff?" She jumped up faster than anybody I've seen jump up. She's like, "Pretty flowers?" I was like, "Yeah, let's go over to Grandma's and plant flowers." Transplant is what we did. And so we did that, and I don't know, it took us a while. Probably 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. I don't know. We're not real fast people. We don't.
Okay. Your Tennessee time.
Yeah,
just sitting on a porch,
chilling.
Drinking some sweet tea and just.
I don't drink tea.
Okay, but chatting her around.
Yeah, just chatting pretty much. Me and Mom drink Mountain Dew.
Okay.
That's what we did. We drank Mountain Dew. Yeah. And summer, we got done. We washed our hands real quick, went in Grandma's house, and she asked Grandma for a piece of candy. She always does.
Okay.
And of course, Grandma gives it to her.
Sure.
And she wanted a piece of candy, so Grandma gave it to her. We were sitting there for about, 5-10 minutes maybe at the most. And she was, "Mom, I want to go back to the house with my brothers." I was like, "All right." So I got up and I walked her back across to where I could literally see her walking to my doorstep.
Okay.
And she
front door, back door?
No, well, I don't know if you want to call it the front door or back door because I don't really consist which way.
Which door is it? Yeah, in some of the pictures I see, there's a door around the bottom and the back.
Not the basement door. I call it the kitchen door is what I call it.
Okay.
And she walked in there, and there's a scaffolding that we have for steps, the yellow and black scaffolding we have for steps. Okay. And I put my hand on the scaffold. I said, "Boys, watch Summer. I'll be right back." And I had to go over and help Mom. She was still sitting over there. And I had to go and get her knee brace and fix it for her because it was twisted and crap.
Okay.
It took me like 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a time person. Never have been.
Okay.
And next thing I know, I said, "Mom, I'm going back over with the kids, chill and hang out, whatever." And I freaking asked her brothers, "Well, where'd your sister go?" She was just right here with you. "But she wanted to go play with her toys downstairs, Mom." I said, "I think none of them. That's where our room is. That's where."
This is very consistent to what she's been saying, by the way. And you have to also understand that Chris, when he gave a follow-up, he did a follow-up live after playing this interview. He apologized for the sound because it became very windy. And so the water became more choppy and the water was making noise. So he did apologize for the sound. But if you just listen carefully, you could still hear very well what she's saying.
Her toys are.
Okay.
And after about a second, I didn't hear nothing down there. I was like, "You sure she went downstairs?" They're like, "Yeah, Mom, she went downstairs."
Okay.
And my boys do not lie to me. So I went around because my stairs, my husband calls it a bar, but it's not really a bar. I call it a mess. We built it over the staircase. I guess you could call it a bar, but it's not really a bar because we don't drink that much. So, but it was like where we put our TV stand and stuff like that. And I walked around because that's where the steps are hidden up underneath there. And I said, Summer. And she didn't answer me. I said, Summer, are you down there? And she didn't answer me. So I ran down the stairs pretty much. I was freaking out. I was like, why is she not answering me? And I looked, I just went, I blew up. I went everywhere looking for her. So I couldn't find her nowhere.
Okay. And then what happened?
She was just gone.
Okay.
She was just gone into nowhere. And I started tracing the property, going everywhere I could. I sent my boys down through we live on the hill, so it was down by the creek. I sent them all down through there looking and everything. They still didn't find her, and they said no. So I ran over and I freaked out. I called Donnie because that's what I do automatically. I freak out, You
called Don.
I called Donnie. I said, I cannot find Summer. Come home now. He's like, call the cops. So I threw my phone down on the back of his pickup, ran over to my mom, picked up her phone because it's the only one that gets out there is AT&T.
Okay.
So I picked up her phone, I dialed her on. I said, I cannot find my daughter. And they sent people out, and I wasn't just going to stand there and wait for them to send people out.
Right.
I jumped in my mom's truck, and I went down the driveway as fast as I could. I went everywhere I could possibly think, every road which way. I didn't see no cars. I didn't see nobody at all. And I was like flipping out. I was a hot mess, so you call it.
Okay.
It makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective, and your property living up there as long as you have, Candus, right?
This is interesting.
What are the odds that happened? Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
Okay. Could she have walked away and fallen?
Knowing my daughter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay. What's in your heart today in terms of what
I wonder if he was trying to get at, like, okay, so 50% chance that somebody took her. What's the other 50%? I wonder if he was trying to get her to say something that would incriminate her or Don in some way, or grandma in some way. So she says, no idea. You know, the thought that she could have even done something doesn't even come to her mind. But I see it's interesting that that he questions that, because he wants to see if she'll even touch that. If she'll even say, well, one of us did something, but she doesn't go there at all. He almost corners her into saying either that or I don't know. She goes with I don't know.
What gives you hope, and what do you hold on to? I mean, you've been around the block a couple of weekends, okay? I mean, so have I. And I think what you're telling me here, I have no reason to disagree with you. You know what I mean? I mean, there's going to be a lot of he said, she said, and and I know, no matter what, okay? No matter what,
In my heart, I believe. Now, this is just the way I feel.
I respect that. Totally respect that.
I feel that somebody has got her hid out somewhere.
Okay.
And is keeping her away from us.
Help me understand why that's in your heart.
Okay, first off,
what do you mean she doesn't understand odds?
How many sex offenders?
She understood the question perfectly, and she answered it accurately to the best of her knowledge. 50-50. She understood. She understands odds at least well enough to speculate on her own. That was the question. What do you think? He asked her, what do you think? Not what is. What do you think? It was a perfectly legitimate question, a perfectly legitimate answer coming from her.
Lived around me that were only 8 minutes from my property.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Right.
And my daughter never goes out into the woods because we've taught her there's dangerous snakes, there's bears, there's pack of dogs, there's coyotes, there's everything magical out there in the woods that that could hurt you.
She's right.
I've even taught
There
my
is.
boys that. Okay. And I have never stressed that enough. I tell her that every day.
Right.
And she would never, ever go anywhere than that swing that's on that tree.
Okay. Yeah, tell me about that swing. Is that her favorite? I love those videos you put up showing her just having an absolute blast. That's a blast. You know, what about this call allegedly that Hunter says came in? Well, he said there was a call that Dawn made to you while you were in line at the prescription. Did that happen?
He called me and asked how everything was going.
Okay.
And how soon we were going to be home.
Okay. Hunter relates that he mentioned to you that Dawn had said something about somebody around the property. Is that true?
That is so.
Okay.
Sorry to say, but that's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so where is?
I don't need to get upset, but when something
you're
like that,
here's the good news. Okay. This is your dog.
I know where my husband was.
Okay, but you have every reason. Don't apologize.
No, I'm just.
Okay.
Don't
apologize.
Me so mad that.
I mean, the fact that you're wearing Mom Patrol.
That somebody could stand there and lie.
People lie.
To law enforcement, to everybody. It makes me so mad that it just makes my blood boil.
Right. So she disappears.
I mean, can you imagine how frustrating that is? People just making stuff up just to make it up because they want to be involved somehow. Like,
what are the possibilities in your mind? I know what your heart's saying. Your heart's saying she's with somebody right now. How would we know how to connect that dot? You and me.
Well, like, for instance, that Dobbs guy that was supposed to be camping across at my neighbor's house.
Right.
He was there that same time. And then Tony Hammonds, whoever the hell he is, he was down through there.
Who was there when you got home?
There was nobody there. There was my mom mentioned the blue van across at my neighbor's house, but I just figured she had company.
Okay.
I didn't know about that was the guy that was trying to move in there. I didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
And so I didn't think nothing. I just figured it was neighbors. I had visitors.
Okay.
You know, I didn't think nothing about that. I gotta stop. I can't do no more. I gotta have a cigarette. Sorry.
No, good. Light it up.
I just don't.
Light it up,
no,
girl.
I don't want to breathe in another.
No. Go blow it. Go. I'm not gonna. Don't worry about me. You should see me drive.
And as a smoker, I get it. If I'm talking about this and I'm getting heated up and I'm outside, I'm like, hey, listen, man, I've been trying to be respectful of the fact that you're not a smoker,
Candus.
but I got to have a
I
cigarette.
respect you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that you're having all this problem. And no matter what we say, you or me, somebody's going to question
Like,
it.
it doesn't matter what I say or do or try to prove to people. Somebody's always going to twist my stuff.
Right.
Now, I want to also point out, guys, while Chris was playing this interview, he played it as a premiere, and he was in the chat, and he wasn't very active in the chat. But there was like 12,000 people in that chat, and it was members only. So there was like 12,000 people in this chat, and there was a lot of people that were like, why isn't she crying? Why isn't she crying? Now, not everybody's voice shakes when they cry. Not everybody bawls when they cry. You know, not everybody sounds like they're crying. But people were saying, why isn't she crying? Why isn't she crying? Why isn't she crying? Right here, while this part was going on, Chris intervenes in the chat and says she was crying. He's looking right at her. He sees the tears running down her face. She's talking. She's a tough person. And she's crying. Now, you can't see it because her back's turned to the camera. But according to Chris, she was crying.
And for that one woman to go on there that works with Allie, she don't know me and my kids.
Yeah. Why was she there?
She don't know
I
what
asked
they
the
do every
same
day.
thing. Why was that other person in that interview with Unmasked? What was she
Most of my
contributing?
boys are here. They
Gossip?
This is,
I've seen a lot of your pictures.
yeah.
That speaks volumes.
It
know
does.
what I mean?
It does speak volumes.
That speaks a lot. That says a lot. Nobody's perfect, though, right?
No, I'm not perfect.
I'm not
Hell
perfect
no,
by any means, shape, or thought,
Never have been perfect. Never meant to try to be perfect.
and me neither. I mean, you.
What you doing,
I
Candy?
am a person just like you.
Yep.
Or your wife.
That's
or
right.
That person out there on that jet ski.
That's right.
I'm no different than anybody else.
We all make mistakes. There's no question about that.
Well, thanks, New Zealand Mysteries. I appreciate that.
No question about it.
I can't even enjoy life without my kids.
She just said she
Totally
can't even
understand what
enjoy
you mean
life
by
without
that.
her kids.
Like how these guys are out here having fun with their family and stuff. I can't even go in that water and pretend to even have fun because what's the point? She's not here to enjoy it with.
You know, I lost a son.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I know that whole. I know there's a depth of pain that nobody understands until
I can't
you
imagine.
have been
I can't
in that
imagine.
hole. Okay, and
You know, I've been in this hole twice now.
help me understand that.
Well, once when my mom called me and said that they couldn't find my little sister Rosie
Okay,
when she disappeared. And that was heartbreaking. But my daughter, that's twice as worse.
right.
You might as well just rip my chest out, throw it out there for the fish to eat because it's worthless without her.
Anybody who's a parent that loves their
I
kid
try to be strong.
knows
for my
exactly what she
boys.
means by that.
I try to.
She's
have
clearly
hope.
crying right now. She's clearly upset.
I feel like everybody is against me.
It's all right. You wanna rest for a minute? You wanna take a break for a second?
Yes.
Yeah. Take your time. Nobody else is here. They're all gone. Everybody left.
Can you imagine going through that and not
You know,
having any
the world
closure?
today is so different than it used to be even 10 years ago because of, people can get on, this little device and say, he's lying, she's lying, he's this, that, and they do it about me too. You're right. It's just so out of control almost.
I've really never seen so much hate in my life.
I mean, think about it.
believe
I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean,
I
it goes with the territory, guys. If you're a YouTube creator, it goes with the territory. You put yourself in positions. People make all kinds of stupid videos about me, and it just goes with the territory. It's just something you got to deal with. There's no sense in whining about it. But I'm not going to say that it doesn't bother me when someone just makes things up about me and makes videos about me and lies, especially when they're people that I considered friends. I mean, it's heartbreaking, And imagine if you are getting the blunt of this and you never put yourself in a position to do that. Like, I could take it because I put myself in the position. Like I said, it goes with the territory. If I'm going to make YouTube videos, then I'm going to get hate. Oh, thanks. If Walls could talk, I appreciate it. I'm going to get hate. It's going to happen. But this woman's getting hate. Why? Because her daughter went missing? When she has, there's no indication that she had anything to do with it. So she's getting all this hate because her daughter went missing. Someone who didn't even put herself in a position to get hate all over social media, and now she's being bombarded with it. And then people are suspicious as to how she's reacting to it. Get real, man. Like, use your head. Yeah, she does not like to be seen crying. Yeah. I mean, that's not uncommon. And the way she carries herself does not strike me as somebody who likes to be seen in a vulnerable position. So maybe that's why she doesn't cry in these interviews most of the time.
Believe it. I believe it. Because I think everybody wants to help, but they don't know how to help. So when they hear indiscrepancies, okay, automatically that take, what is that? Oh man, don't get stung on me now. You'll be blaming me for
See that?
Bee
Dude,
sting.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I see a bee around me, I'm freaking out. I'm like holding still, like, oh God, this thing. Well, part of the reason is because I'm allergic and I'll die. But she's like, get away from me, bee.
They don't know how to help, or they want to help, and then of course
right.
there's one discrepancy on you.
I just can't imagine how isolated she feels. Her baby is missing. The world hates her, judges her every word and movement. I feel so bad for her. Yeah, me too. And I'm telling you, it's really crazy because, dude, if it turns out that she did this, right? If it turns out that way, dude, I'm going to drag the hell out of her like I did Letitia Stalk or anybody else. I'm always going to go with the innocent until proven guilty thing because we don't know. We don't know what law enforcement knows. They're not going to tell us what they know because it obstructs their investigation. So I'm not going to jump and just start speculating and spreading rumors. I'm just not going to do that. But you better believe that if I find out, whoever it is, whoever's responsible for Summer, if the police find out and they make an arrest, I'm going to drag the hell out of them on this channel. Just like I've done every other time. New Zealand Mysteries, thank you so much. Thanks so much for not bullying and bashing this family like some other creators. You have the same ethics I have on my channel. Respect. Thank you. Much respect to you too. If you run your channel that way, much respect. And I appreciate you.
YouTube or, wherever. And next thing you know, it just gets crazy. I mean, I've had people say, oh, you paid Hunter to talk to him. Seriously? Am I paying you? No.
I don't want your money.
And I wouldn't offer it. Okay.
I don't want nobody.
I'm not here for that.
My daughter.
I'm here for that reason. That's why I'm here.
And the dude's not hurting for money.
That is why I'm here. I'm not interfering.
You know what I'm saying? Like the dude had his the dude had his channel set to members only, that only members could chat, and all I saw was just green memberships, just boom, 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 and there was like 12,000 people in that chat. Like, I mean, but here's the thing though, I'm not criticizing him for that for 1 second. He absolutely earned it. This guy, I don't know where he lives, but he traveled to Tennessee and he interviewed this person and he did it fairly and he did it thoroughly. And he has the experience to back it up. This isn't just some dummy YouTuber that's just like, oh, I'm going to go harass this family. No, this is a professional, a retired professional that still found a way to give back to his community and back to society, even after his retirement. That's how I see it. I feel like that's the way all of us should see it. So anybody hating on this guy for what he's doing, I mean, dude, get what you can get out of it. Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit here and throw this guy under the bus and say that he's being unethical by paying the people that he's interviewing. She's sitting here right here going, I don't want your money. I want people to stop harassing my family.
With the investigators, I'm letting them do.
I'm not neither. I'm going to let them do their job.
Let them do their thing.
Do their job.
Let them do their thing.
That's all.
Okay. And You know, you came down here on your own to walk me through this.
Yes, sir.
I credit you for that. I respect you for that. Okay? And somebody's going to find something wrong with it, though.
Of course they will.
I'm giving you
Absolutely.
a heads up. Okay.
Oh, I already know this.
All right. I'm just telling you. Okay.
That's how the world is today.
It is. Now, the other side of that, okay, is if there is a suspicious person or somebody like that, that now you mentioned, or Don, I can't remember in the first interview, Don had mentioned that on the news, he mentioned that he thought that she was abducted. How did that conclusion come so quickly? Help me understand that.
Because she never wanders.
Okay.
She always stays right there by the house, right there by the swing.
Okay.
She'll go to grandma's, but she'll be right back to the house.
Okay.
She'll never leave the house. She'll never go out of my sight.
Okay. So what did you tell Don at work when you called him?
I just said she was missing. I can't find her. That's all I said.
Do you remember where he was that day? What job site he was on?
I believe he was in Jonesboro at the Meadows, I believe.
Okay, and he's hanging drywall?
No, he's finishing drywall.
Okay, so he's a finisher.
Yeah.
Okay, a taper.
Yep.
Got it. And do you help him?
Well, I tried to help him yesterday, but I just...
Yesterday when I called you, is that where you were working? You told me you were working, and you said you were going to go to church.
Yep.
And you went to church.
Yep,
okay. So you did all the things you told me you were going to do.
Sir.
I got it. Okay, so that all lined up. Okay. And now, when you called him, what was his reaction?
He's like, "What, are you playing with me?" I was like, "No, I'm not playing." He's like, "Call 911," and that's what I did.
Okay.
That was all that was said.
Okay. What was Grandma doing?
Grandma was out hollering for as much as she could. She can't really get down my driveway's horrible.
And why would her story be that?
I went to your.
See, that's something I don't find suspicious at all. Why would she? Why would she say I called Don?
Every time it rains, all the
and then Don told me to
call
call 911. Why wouldn't she just say I called 911?
He's actually at work.
Okay. Do you think you could show me where she was, where you were, and so we could? Yeah.
Yeah. No problem.
Is that cool?
That's fine.
Okay. Well, let's head up.
All right, straight up. All right, guys. All right, that's it. So tonight is going to be part 2 of that interview. So Mont, if you could drop Chris's channel, the interview room, here in the chat, somebody, I'd really appreciate it. And like I said, either late tonight after that interview, and after he goes over the interview, depending on how late it is, I'll go over it again, like I did this one, or I'll do it tomorrow at some point. But yeah, I won't be able to do any day streams tomorrow, I don't think. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm really interested to see what happens, and what his perspective is, being at the location where Summer actually disappeared. I love that he's taken us through that day. I love that he's doing that. He's taking us through that day. He's starting at the swimming hole, and then they're going to end up back at the house, and they're going to go over everything that happened at the house. So I'm really loving this guy and how he's handling this case. And like I said, mad props to J.S. for Justice for how she's handling this case as well. So good on her for that. And guys, in closing, like I said, I want to say, when it comes to ignorant, hateful comments, you don't know how you're affecting somebody. So, yeah, you have freedom of speech, but it doesn't mean that just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean that what you're saying doesn't make you an asshole. So be mindful of how your words may affect someone else, how your ignorance may affect someone else. And like I said, check out John Hinged video from yesterday. Very educational. Because if you don't know, if you're not a person of color and had to deal with racism, then you're not going to understand how they feel. But he gives you a very insightful. He educates you in a very insightful way to try to at least understand where that comes from. So good on John Hinged, John Crimes, he's better known as, but it's on John Hinged channel. So please do yourself a favor and check that out. It's really important. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.